Greetings, everyone. This is Payman Lorenzo, your host of the Leaders with Heart podcast. Today, I have another special treat for you. My new good friend Anja from beautiful Oslo, Norway. Once again, she was referred to me from an amazing, amazing human being, an incredible, enlightened soul, and a true leader with a heart. Our common friend, Mary Goodman. Gooden, sorry. I had her on a podcast about 2 to 3 weeks ago, and she referred to me to you, and then here we are. Anya is an incredible human being. She has a beautiful mission, which is to live and lead with love. She's a mindset coach, helping women live fulfilling lives and rewrite their limiting beliefs. She had to go through that herself to overcome her own limiting beliefs, to overcome depression, so that now she can live a fulfilling life. And now she's on a mission to help as many women do the same. Anya, my friend, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. It's great to be here.
It's my pleasure. First of all, for people who don't know you, who's Anya?
I'm a woman that's 26 years old, and I started my business about a year ago. Before that, I started my podcast, and it's really been my plan and my mission for a long time. I think this is what I wanted my whole life, to do my own thing and to help others. So my life, both my personal and my business life, is about living with love and spreading that out to the world, because I think that is so important for everyone, and to just inspire others, kind of lead as an example.
Absolutely love that. We're going to talk about that in a moment. But first of all, as I said, I want to have a look under the hood, so to speak, to see what's in your heart, because I want to have a heart to heart conversation. First of all, what makes you happy?
Oh, I love nature, and
Mm,
I love being out in nature. I love working out, and I love going to the sea in
mhm.
the sun. And I love my family and my friends and my pets. I have a cat and a dog, so they makes me really happy. So it's just, I think it's a lot of small stuff and kindness in the world. And yeah, I think that's about the most important things that makes me really happy.
That's awesome. You mentioned something about, nature. I know Norway is one of the most amazingly blessed country in terms of natural beauties. One thing that I always saw is that you have we have this tradition in Canada, especially in the north. I don't know if you guys have it as well, especially in the winter. You go ice diving and swimming in frozen waters. Do you do that also in Norway?
I
Especially
think some
around
people
New
do.
Year's Eve. Especially around New Year's Eve, as soon as the New Year's come, we just jump into the frozen water. Mind you, I haven't done it, but other people do it. So is that tradition also in Norway?
I don't think it's a typical tradition, but it's a lot of people that
Mm,
do like ice swimming all
mm.
or in the winter, and kind of go to the sea all year. So, but I have never done that.
And in Norway, and the seas and the lakes in the summer, does the water get warm enough for you to swim in it, or is it still cold? Because you're in Canada, even if it's in the summer, it gets very hot, very hot. Even it's 35 degrees, the water is still around 18 degrees, which is quite cold. Is it the same in Norway?
It depends on where in Norway. In
Mm,
Oslo, this week it's been really hot, so the water and the ocean and the lakes has been really warm, over
mm,
20 degrees.
awesome.
So, but in some parts of Norway, there is ice waters from the
Hmm.
mountains, so
Sure,
that doesn't get hot.
sure. What makes you smile?
Kind people, and
Hmm.
people that like to help others, and people that is really engaged in what they do, that have a purpose, and that just are themselves, the people that are not afraid to be different. I think that is really beautiful.
I love that. What makes you come alive?
uh, I love music, good music. I love dancing, and I love working out, running, and stuff like that. I think that, and the sun and nature, it makes me feel really alive and good.
Absolutely. Now, what makes you sad and angry?
I think injustice,
Mm-hmm.
especially against the childs or and people that have less power.
Mm-hmm.
That makes me sad, and also against women and different
Mm-hmm.
races.
Mm-hmm.
That makes me a bit angry. Racism
Sure.
makes me angry.
Absolutely. Are you by any chance a Libra?
No, I'm not. I'm a Capricorn.
Okay. Because I'm a Libra, and that's something that also I can't stand, injustice and fairness and all that. So that was just all right. No worries. And what scares you?
Mm, I don't think it is things that scares me, but not in a big way like
Mm-hmm.
before. I think some days I can be scared that I can't do the things I feel my purpose is, that
Mm-hmm.
I won't make it in the things I really want to make.
Mm-hmm.
But in the end of the day, I believe I will do the things I need to do, and that everything that is meant to happen will happen. So it's nothing to
Absolutely.
really fear.
Absolutely. Now, let me ask you some fun questions. You know, when we're kids growing up, our parents, our friends, relatives, even teachers always ask us, for example, Anya, what do you want to become when you grow up? What was your answer back then?
Oh, when I was a child, I really looked up to kind of Hollywood stars,
Mm,
and I I always knew that I wanted to do something different, but I didn't really have the right words to
mhm,
know what. So when I looked at TV and saw women that were just dressed good and lived happy lives, that was something that I really wanted for myself. Uh, but I also wanted to help people. So I always imagined myself becoming rich and kind of
mhm.
be able to help others through that.
Absolutely. Amazing. Now, what was your favorite subject in school as a child, as a kid?
Mm, I think it was gym,
Me
because then
too.
we could just play, or making food. I don't know what that's called.
Making what, sorry?
Making food.
Like
Uh,
cooking?
yeah, cooking
Oh,
class.
you have cooking classes? What did they teach you to cook in school in Norway?
Pancakes and tomato soup and different
Oh,
stuff
wow.
like that. It's all easy things.
Pizza, cakes, no?
Yeah, I think we made some, yeah, pizza we probably made,
Okay,
but just
awesome.
like different dinners and stuff like that.
Mhm. What subject you could not stand?
Mm, Actually, there wasn't anything that I didn't really like when I was a child, I think. Uh, I think I really liked everything.
Awesome. Now, looking back at your path from your schooling years to now, how would you describe your path? Would you say that once you started getting into one path, it was pretty much linear and straight sailing, smooth looking forward, or was it more like turns and twists along the way? You got into one path, it wasn't for you, you changed, and so on and so forth. So, how would you describe your path from your schooling years to now?
So in my schooling years, I were very depressed from a young age,
Hmm.
and that only developed throughout my older years as I finished school. So I didn't get the best grades in college, and that uh, made me really uncertain on what to do with my life. And I tried to take kind of get better grades after school, but
Hmm.
I never really had the motivation because I didn't want to go and study. But I had told everyone that I wanted it because it was an expectation. So I I really needed to admit to myself that I didn't want to do it, and to admit to myself and others what I really wanted to do. So when I found coaching, that was something kind of I could tell people, okay, this is what I want. So I studied coaching and went get my certification in NLP, and then
Nice.
from there on, that's what I have been pursuing.
Awesome. What made you depressed?
I think I'm not. I remember little from my childhood,
Mm-hmm.
but I knew that it became. I think it kind of started when my parents got divorced,
Mm-hmm.
and things got really turbulent in my family. So it's family life, I guess.
Yes, I
Yeah.
understand. Hmm. That's not an easy time to go through as a kid. That's for
Mm.
sure. Now, I'm sure you've heard the saying, change your story, change your life. And by story, I mean the story that we keep telling ourselves inside of our mind all day long. So we all have had to change our story at some point. So when you had to change your story, how did you do it? Did you do it through the help of friends, family, mentors, books? How did you change your story to change your life, or at least get your life to where you want to be?
It started with my therapist. He really
Mm-hmm.
helped me see things from a different angle and a new
Mm-hmm.
perspective, and helped me kind of, yeah, see my story in a new way. And that inspired me to get into books. And I looked at YouTube a lot and found my mentors there. And in books, Gabrielle Bernstein became a really great mentor for me. So yeah.
That's awesome. Okay. Now let's talk about your business. What do you do?
I'm a mindset coach, and I do one-on-one coaching now. And my goal is to make a course and or make several courses to kind of reach more people.
Mm-hmm.
I also do a lot of content on Instagram and also YouTube. I had a
Mm-hmm.
break now, but that is also something that I aspire to do more of, and to have to or do talks and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's my mission, and write books, and that's what I've been doing with Mary. Yeah,
Awesome. So were you part of the first group that wrote a chapter in Mary's book?
yeah, the Align Leaders.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, is it the first? Yeah.
Oh, I don't know if it's the first, but the one that you just launched just
Yeah,
recently.
yeah, it's
What
that.
did you What did you write about?
uh, a bit about my journey.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember exactly what I wrote now, because I was so nervous when I delivered it. So I kind of
Mm-hmm.
put it on the shelf. But I think I wrote about my story and kind of how to break out of societal norms, like the book is about.
So how do you do that? How do you break from the society's norm? How did you do it?
It was kind of the steps of daring to reveal myself and being myself, because I am really different from my family and my friends. So daring to stand up for what I believe in, what I want to do,
Mm-hmm.
quitting my 9 to 5 job, and just kind of, uh, yeah, daring to say that this is what I'm going to do.
Awesome. So you mentioned that your program you do one or strictly and mostly you do one-on-one coaching, right? So tell us more about the
Yeah,
structure. If it's one-on-one calls, is it videos? Is it and how long is the? Let's say, for example, if I were to join your program, even if I'm not a woman, but pretend that I am, and I wanted to join your program, what is the structure? Is it like a 30-day program, 60-day, 90-day, or is it ongoing? So walk me through the structure and the process of your program so that the people
yeah,
that watches this really get to understand what you do exactly so I can see if this is something that they would benefit from.
yeah. I do offer just one session, so
Mm-hmm.
we can have a single session. But of course, I recommend having more than that. So I have
Mm-hmm.
a 12 session pack,
Mm-hmm.
and I can make different packages if that is something someone would want. But I do recommend doing it over time base, because then we can get deeper and have more structure in the coaching. So I try to accommodate the needs of the person that I'm coaching
Mm-hmm.
and kind of what they want to work on. So we go through first kind of the basics and the things that is really important to establish first, and then I give out tools and the things that will help that person reach their goals and go where they want to be. So yeah, did that answer the question?
Yes. So is it mostly, when you say one-on-one, is it on the phone, video call? Do they have, I guess they have some kind of homework to do, some kind of guide, step-by-step things they need to do on a daily basis, weekly, daily task, weekly assignments, monthly goals, and so on and so forth?
Yeah, I do video calls on Zoom,
Mm-hmm.
and I like to give them homework if they are comfortable with that. I really recommend it because that is how I learned all the things or changed my mindset to
Mm-hmm.
really make shifts. So we do go over things the person should do every week. And if they keep on doing that for several weeks, or if we do a different things the next week or add on something, so they will be given tools and things to do, because I believe doing is a really crucial thing to actually having change.
Okay, so when you say that you help women live fulfilling lives and rewrite their limiting beliefs, what is the number one step, the number one thing they need to do in order to achieve that? What is the most important thing they need to do that you will help them with in order for them to achieve that?
First of all, the most important thing that I always start with is kind of knowing what you want, knowing your
Mm,
goal, and knowing who you are. So, diving really deep into that and daring to say it out loud. For
mhm,
me, that was really crucial to just say that I don't want to study, I want to do my own thing. I don't know quite how or what, but I'm going to figure it out. So, kind of knowing or figuring out what you really want and who you really are, and your values
mhm.
is also a really important thing that we start with really early on.
Awesome. Now, what's your ideal client avatar? Who's the person that you're trying to serve? I understand it's women, but do you have any specific woman in mind, whether it's, say, in a specific industry, in a specific niche? Maybe is it a specific country, or tell us more about the exact client avatar that you're, or the person you're trying to help.
Yeah, so I think it's girls from 20 to around 50.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the person is the one that really wants to be their authentic self. They want to have a more fulfilling life,
Mm-hmm.
and they want to expand who they are and be happy and
Mm-hmm.
do the work to get there.
Okay.
And I serve people all over the world because the
Okay.
internet is awesome. So you can just call
Sure.
like we're doing now.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Okay. Can you tell us an example of the most remarkable transformation you've seen from one of the clients that you've helped?
Oh, I think it's all the small moments, all the small breakthroughs,
Mm-hmm.
because they are so important. Just kind of the small mind shifts, because we don't recognize it at the moment, but that's what make the huge change when we keep going on them. And I met so many beautiful women that have amazing goals or purposes, and just being a part of bringing that to life and help them keep going, even though it's tough and even though they are in difficult situations. But they are inspiring me so much because they're so strong. And so yeah, I so many beautiful people and that have so many limiting beliefs, and they they don't even see how strong and beautiful and important they are in the world.
Absolutely. It's really a magical, feeling. Now, when you see a transformation of someone from where they are now to where they become the version they want to be, how does that make you feel?
It makes me feel really grateful that I even get to be a part of that.
Hmm.
And it makes me feel really proud for the little girl that was struggling and didn't know what she was going to do, and that her struggles can help others today. And that makes me truly grateful for my own struggles too, because they made me help others.
Exactly.
So yeah, it just make me feel really grateful to be a part of that.
Absolutely. You mentioned just earlier that you had mentors that played a big role in your life. Do you have any tips for someone that's looking for how do you find a good mentor? And by a good mentor, because the internet is full of so-called self-proclaimed mentors. How do you find one that is really legit? And by mentor, I don't mean someone that is a billionaire that's way too far ahead, that's difficult for them to connect with us, but someone that is maybe one or two steps ahead of you that can really relate with you, connect with you. So do you have any tips on how to find a real legit mentor that can actually help you?
I think you just have to go out and look and go with your gut feeling on who's really legit and who is really real and authentic. I think a lot of people now have social media and content that you can watch. So watching people's content, I think that shows who the person is and what they're about. So following people and getting interested and talking to different coaches or mentors or whatever that might be. I have found my mentors through the internet myself. I actually traveled to Spain to go to a retreat, and I met someone or one of my mentors there. And it's just amazing that you can find a person in another country and connect on, in that way. So I think the
Do you-
internet is amazing.
Speaking of that, don't you find it absolutely incredible that some of the people that are around us, we have a hard time communicating with them, but for someone that we don't know on the other side of the world, we connect just like as if we know each other, and they're so much more receptive. Don't you find that's very, very interesting?
Yeah, it is. It is really interesting and both a bit sad and really, really
I
cool
know.
because just kind of and to connect with someone from another country and in a whole different life or
Hmm.
circumstances as you and me, it is really cool that, and it is really comforting to know that it is other people like you out there, and that they can come in so many different forms and
Hmm.
ages and cultures and stuff like that.
Absolutely. I agree with you. It's a bit sad, but it's also very, very, inspiring and reassuring that, hey, you're not alone. There's a lot of like minded people that are also on the same spiritual growth and as well as helping the world become a better place. Absolutely. Now, the theme of this podcast is leaders with a heart, that is people that are building impactful businesses. As I told you before we went live, I'm launching a product soon on Kickstarter, and for each unit I sell, I will be donating a pair of eyeglasses to people in need in India. What would you say is a cause that you, Anya, you're most passionate about?
Oh, I think it is youth,
Hmm.
and when I get the means to do it, I will definitely be giving back to, I think, the community that I live in.
Hmm.
I really want to do talks at schools. I know the young people don't have the means to hire a coach, and they
Hmm.
shouldn't have.
Yeah.
have to do that either. So I really want to do something to kind of bring more awareness to mental health and to bring more awareness to these things that I know and that really help me live more fulfilling life, and that I wish I knew when I was younger. So I want to speak at schools and have groups and
Beautiful.
stuff like that. I actually do work in on a volunteering now with
Mm-hmm.
youth, where I have kind of free conversations, or
Yeah.
I'm talking to youth. So that is really cool.
Awesome. You can already, I'm sure you can already do that. Maybe go to the school that you went to and even speak to the kids there. I'm sure the school management would be very happy for you to do that, so it can be an inspiration for the students there. And every school, I don't think any school will turn you down, because schools are always, always, always looking for inspirational people.
Yeah,
So don't be shy. Reach out to the school you went, to university you went, to people you know. You never know. Just go, go, go. Don't be shy.
yeah, it's about that. I just need to put myself out there and be less shy.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So if the question I love asking is that, for example, let's say that if money was not an issue, uh, what would you do with your time? How would you spend your time if you didn't have to make money because you didn't need money? Let's say you have all the money in the world, or you don't need any money. How would you spend your time? What would you do with your time to be impactful?
I think I would do much of the same things I do now, I
Mm-hmm.
guess. I
Mm-hmm.
think this is the kind of the journey I would go on either way, because it is teaching me so much.
Mm-hmm.
And I know it's leading me to the other stuff, the writing and the talks I want to have. And yeah, just a conversation I want to have with people.
Mm-hmm.
And that is what I am doing now. I would probably travel even more and just convey my message from different countries. But I guess I will come back to Norway in the end, and yeah,
That's
do
awesome.
stuff here and in my community.
Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of places to have impact, and sometimes the best way to start is right where you are, because you know the
Yeah,
people, you understand them better than anyone. They can relate to you because you're one of them. So that's probably the best place to start. That's awesome. Now, imagine that you add a time machine and you can go back and sit face to face with your 18-year-old self. What would be the number one piece of advice you would give to your 18-year-old self, knowing all that you know now?
I think I would just say that everything will work out. Uh,
Mm,
you will be happy again. It will be okay. Because I really didn't see any light at that age. So I think I just
mhm,
will comfort myself. But I don't think I would do things differently, because it wouldn't have me, and I wouldn't be here now and in the same situation if I started to mess around in my past.
mhm. Awesome. Now, I do understand you have your podcast now. Imagine that today you have the most special guest in the world, which is yourself. So you have yourself on your podcast. What will be the first question you want to ask yourself? I don't want you to think too much. What is the first question that comes to your mind?
Oh, it's hard.
Don't
Uh,
think too much. The first thing that comes to your mind. That's what I want you to know.
who you are, kind of who you
Mm-hmm.
are that you don't show to others,
Mm-hmm.
the real you.
And what would be the answer?
I think I can be looked at as really shy, but actually I'm just really, I don't have the need to take all that space all the time, but I am really silly and goofy, and I like to have fun. And that is, it's not that I don't like to talk to people, but I really love the deep conversations, and I
Mm-hmm.
love kind of more meaningful conversations and connections. So that is
Hmm.
more important to me than to just be loud and
Of
yeah.
course, yeah. I agree. I'm the same. Now,
Mhm.
what would you say is your superpower, your personal superpower?
uh, I'm really sensitive, and I think that is something at times I don't look as a superpower, but
Hmm.
I think it really is because it makes me really loving and really caring for others. And that is what make me want to help. That is what makes me want to reach out and do the work I do.
Absolutely. I agree. What is the smallest thing you've done that has had the biggest impact in your life so far?
Mm, oh, that's a hard one. uh, I think just a small conversation and the small acts of kindness and just being myself. I don't really think that is small in today's society, but daring to be myself, I think that has had great impact on both my life and others in my family and in my circle.
Hmm. Awesome. That's a good tip. Absolutely. Are you a reader?
Hmm?
Are you a reader? Do you like reading books?
Yeah, I love reading books.
All right. So, what would you say? What book has had the biggest impact on both your business and your life of the past year?
The past year, uh, I have read a lot of books, but I think The Big Leap, I don't remember the author right now, but that is a good book.
The Big Leap.
And
Okay.
yeah, I don't
I'll
remember the
check
author
it.
right now.
No worries. I'll check it out. I'll find The Big Leap. What is it about? If you can summarize it in one or two sentences.
It's about kind of the upper limit we humans have, that we limit ourselves to what we believe is possible. So when we reach our upper limits, we are kind of sabotaging to not get over that limit.
Mm-hmm.
So kind of making that or exceeding that limit is the goal. And that is something that I really need to do in my own business, in my own life.
Mm-hmm. I love that. I'll definitely check it out. I wrote down the name.
Yeah.
Now, we all have a mission and a purpose for being in this life. You know, there's a quote that I saw a year ago and it still stays in my mind. And that quote was, the two most important dates in our lives are first when we are born, and second when we find out why we are here. Now, what would you say is your mission, your purpose in this life, Anya?
I think it is to live, as I said, with love and lead with love, and kind of showing with my actions and the way I
Mm-hmm.
live that that is the right way to live. If I know one thing, that is that love is the most important thing, and that if you live with love, you will live a fulfilling life. You can't lose if you give love and if you are kind to others.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, I love that. And I can see that you have a beautiful heart, you have a beautiful mission and wonderful, purpose on this planet. And I can see the passion in your eyes and the way you talk, and I can see you achieving that because you're really driven and you're a true leader with a heart. Do you have any parting tips for people watching now?
And what did you say?
Do you have any parting tips, any last minute bits of wisdom or tips you want to share with people?
Oh, I think it is to dare to be yourself, dare to figure
Mm,
out what your purpose is, even though it can be hard. We are not promised that it will be easy, and it never is a straight line. It most likely will be hard times or struggles, but we can all reach our goals if we just keep going, and every fall will only learn you new things. So I encourage you to just keep going, and daring to go after what you really want, daring to be honest about who you are and be honest with others, because that is so important, and daring to love, daring to open yourself up and be vulnerable, even though people have hurt you or things have happened. You deserve happiness
Hmm.
and you are worthy.
Absolutely, I love that. What's the best way to connect with you if someone wants to reach out to you?
It's my Instagram. I'm most active there. So it's Anja Bjerlin on Instagram.
Hmm.
And I also have YouTube where I also go under Anja Bjerlin,
Hmm.
and my websites, of course.
Okay, I have that noted. That's fine. I'll put that in the show notes. Listen, Anya, it's been an absolute blast having you on. You're a true leader with a heart. I salute you. You're on a wonderful mission. Keep blessing the world with your lovely mission. Uh, have a wonderful day. Have a wonderful. Wish you all the best in your mission. So yeah, thank you very much. Have a great day.
Yeah, thank you so much. It was such, I really enjoyed myself, and it's
Take
nice
care.
to be with you.
Absolutely. Thank you. Take care. Bye bye.